morning and welcome to today's program, You and Your Environment. I'm Gilbert Owenye, your host. And today I have with me uh, experienced people in environment matters. And one of them is Comrade Adeni Osawaro, PSP.
Thank you very much, moderator. Viewers, once again, you and the environment, we are here. Good morning.
And another person again is Madam Esther Edafinene, Environmental Health Officer, State Secretary, Environmental Health Officer. You are welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let us thank you everyone.
So today we are going to dwell on a topic, proactive measures for flood control. You know, we are approaching rainy season now, and we have to, take proactive in ensuring that our environment is protected. And one of it is, especially this rainy season, where we have drainages, we have canals, we have rivers and others. And if care is not taken, if control measure is not put in place, we will have some kind of damages to properties and even to human life. So today, let us discuss this and see how we can surely put measures in place for the control. Adeni, how do you look at this topic, proactive measures for flood control? We are in rainy season now, so what do you have to say?
Well, thank you again, moderator and viewers. This is a topic that concerns everybody. And this is a topic that is, I would say, it has a seasonal approach. It's a topic that has a seasonal approach, and the season has come by, whereby this topic needs to be taken with all seriousness. Yeah, when we talk about proactive approach to flooding, it's just a signal sending a message to us that we should wake up in this climate weather period, which is called the rainy season. We should wake up and start thinking of how to manage the rain. First of all, one of the proactive measures on flood control, first of all, because the weather, it's what prompts the flood, which is rainy season.
Yes.
Now, first of all, before we talk about the flood itself, which is the center of concentration,
Yes.
this period everybody should go and get your umbrella.
Okay.
This period everybody go and get your raincoat. This period everybody get a shoe that is waterproof or water friendly.
Okay.
Because these are the things you need to prepare yourself to before the flood will now come as a major thing. So this period is a period, this period we are entering, or this weather period we are entering, is a period where every individual need to be proactive. We need to be proactive in all ramifications in this weather period called the rainy season. Starting from our home, we need to start seeing how our compound is. We need to start preparing our own compound. I'm not even talking about the road now, because when we talk about flood, what comes to our mind is majorly on the highway, the drain, public areas. But in our private home, now we need to be proactive to await the flood that is coming. Flood does not really mean it has to flow everywhere. You can be in your house and the direct raindrop can cause a flood in your compound. Why?
Yeah.
Because there is no access for the water log to flow.
Yeah.
Now this is the period that every one of us, you've experienced it last year, unless it's a new house that you have just moved in during the dry season. But if you have been in a particular compound before, that you know the aftermath of rains whenever it drops, it is time for you to be proactive in preparing for this season. Think of a way, measures to ensure that your compound is not flooded. Likewise, if you go outside your personal residing area, the environment, as we all know, everybody now needs to start thinking of how to handle this issue when it comes. We all need to sit on the table now, starting from the home, parents, house owners, tenants, and landlord, because there are some houses that during this rainy season, you need to take off your shoe before you go out. And when you are coming into, you take off your shoe before you enter your house, as if you are entering Cherubim and Seraphim Church or Celestial Church, and whereas you are entering your house. So we need to start thinking of how to tackle these issues, because we've had experience before. So everybody now needs to wake up. Even if the government is sleeping while I'm sleeping, it is time we now do an awakening sensitization that the flood is coming. One of the proactive measures is sensitization.
Okay.
Proper sensitization, that is one of the proactive measures. Proper sensitization, sensitize people, tell them, let people come out to the public, let people know that this is what we always experience, this is what is likely to come in this season that we are entering now, in this weather season, which is called rainy season that we are entering. This is what we should be expecting, and these are the things you should do as a measure to ensure that these things don't turn out to be a damage to you and your environment. Thank you.
So, Madam, looking at what Ade just said now, you know, years back, we have been, having this rainy season, dry season here and there. Now we are here again in rainy season. Sometime in the past, the rain, used to drive people away from their homes, and they want to relocate to another place, and maybe to their friend's place or their relation's place, and probably government will also keep camps for them to relocate. But do you think we as individuals, have we been able to ensure that we make arrangements down before the rainy season?
Thank you very much.
Yes.
No, the issue of flood, it should be something that we are already used to.
Yes.
Even as we speak now, on the pages of newspaper, during paper review,
Yes.
it has already been predicted
Okay.
that the flood is going to affect about 31 states.
Yes.
Okay.
So once you measure 31 states, Delta State,
Is one.
Also
even that
one.
did not see the list,
Yes.
Delta State is
Must
a
be
must
one.
to be there.
Because it's called Delta.
So because of that, it shouldn't be anything to be taking us unawares anymore.
Yes.
So as individuals, since we are dealing with individual first, we should be able to know whether where you are living in,
Yes. Whether
is it flood
was
prone or not? Where you stayed, is it accessible during the rains or not?
Yes.
So this is the time as individuals
We have
to begin to make personal arrangements in seeing to it that the flood does not cut them off.
Okay.
So our people that lives in this Camp 74 area,
Okay. Just
And
say
Jesus.
the River Niger.
the River Niger Draw area,
Bank.
the villages,
Yes.
the Okos, the
Mile
Udokwas
5 and
area,
others.
all those areas. By now, whatever arrangement they used to make every year,
Yes.
they should start it now. They should not wait until the rain cut them off,
Yes.
where we begin to see lives that are now being drowned because the rivers have overflown them. Now, as individual, we should see it as a taboo
Okay.
to be blocking the drainages with our refuse. It should be seen as forbidden.
Okay.
That as individual, you shouldn't dump refuse on whether the canal or the public drain
Okay.
by whatever means.
Okay.
You should not do it because that is one major control measure for the flood. When the rain falls and the drainage are properly done and they are free, the water can flow and find itself to the River Niger. So as individual, one of the major things we should do is to stop dumping our refuse in the public drain. As individuals, we should stop building on natural water course. Many buildings are blocking the natural way where water ought to do what? To flow through.
Yes.
So when you block it like that, and you cannot deprive the water from flowing, water must definitely find
Find
its
its
course.
way.
So when those natural ways are blocked by structures, you definitely know that they will find their way. And part of the way is our homes and our places of businesses. Another individual proactive measure is to ensure that we do not cut down trees without replacing them. Trees are very natural wind
Protective measure.
Control.
wind control that normally helps to regulate the way wind blow and water flows.
Water flow, yes.
So if our trees are properly built, we should be able to ensure that they also help us during the rain. And then to avoid disaster, when trees are becoming too big inside premises,
Trimming them.
with their branches growing wider and wider, even resting on the roof, do what? Trim them. Watch out for the roots. All of us remember the calamity that struck in one of the Okos. Was it last 2 years?
Yes.
Where many lives were lost because of rain. So we should watch our trees are good, but we should not allow them to become a danger to our lives. If they become a danger to us, then the purpose will be defeated. Now, individuals as well make up a group in a street. Street landlords and occupants can come together to say that now that the rains are coming, let's do our part. Every premises, ensure you start cutting away your drainages.
Comrade Samson Osware, you are welcome to the program. And you have heard what we are discussing already, proactive measures for flood control. And I knew quite well that you are also inside, flood control or the, environmental protection and others. So, what do you have to say on this topic we are talking about now?
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. And my dear, I really want to appreciate our last speaker.
Yeah.
Because most of the measures we really pointed. The major one I wanted to emphasize on is building on waterways.
Okay.
Like what happened, what is happening in Warri
Yes.
during the flood season. In fact, many of the buildings are built on the waterway, so
Yes.
water cannot flow. At
Yes.
any time water gets to a place, it cannot flow. Let's
So destroy
we
things
started destroying because it must find
and
its
spreading
place.
to even
And
people who
spread.
don't even know
Correct.
what is happening.
Then what can the government do in such a situation? Government to, you see, this dam is a source of control.
Yes.
You can use dam to control flood.
Okay.
like when it happened in Pakistan, they were using flood to control this dam, to control the build dam.
Okay.
The dam, it gives the water a level, a boundary to stay
Okay.
at a particular time. So it restricts the movement of the flood to some extent, and it channeled it to a proper place it's supposed to go.
Okay.
So damming is a very good system. If government really want to take control of this flood, they should use the system of damming, building dams in the area. Then two, you also look at these drillage.
Okay.
The drillages, most of them, once they are blocked, water cannot flow. That's why when I started this job yesterday, I saw tractors, bulldozers that are working on the drainage by the airport.
Okay.
I was happy because immediately the water comes up and you don't see any place to enter, it overflow the road. And once overflow, it causes a lot of things. It causes accidents.
It
Accidents.
destroy the road.
Destroy the road.
Yes.
It will
Also-
destroy the road.
and it
It will cause
cause
accident to people. A lot of things.
Yes.
So I even destroy farms. Today we found out that many people are not going to farm again because of the outsiders, these Fulani men that are terrorizing the bush. And if prevention we succeeded in getting some persons that said no, the farm is the only means I can use to survive.
Yeah.
If flood is destroying it, they will not have mind to be going to farm. So to encourage the farmers to, you need to work, government need to work. So this government have a 50% in terms of, help to
More
the
than
people.
50.
Well, I just said it. You understand? Because this drillage of the train is help a lot, and removing debris from the channel, water flow channels, like Hawaii here. Let me take you an example, like Hawaii, the bridge, Hawaii Bridge. You saw what happened a few years ago. So our past governor, he tried. Formally, when immediately rain fall, you see overflowing of water from the River Niger. Because the whole water here emptied themselves to the River Niger.
Yes.
And there was no road where the water can be channeled. So
Yes.
because of that, now all the farms around that area, they
Were
suffer flood
flooded.
during flood season. So, but we thank God that the tradition of the government has really helped a lot.
So, Adeni, looking at what is going on now, because when I passed through to what is it called, Interbell area down that side, I saw them desilting some of the drainages, but it's not packed. They have removed the debris inside the drainage, but everything is still there. If rain comes now, how do you look at it? Is it a good job?
Thank you very much, sir. It's like we said, we always want to do something and we end up spoiling whatever we are doing. Yes, it's a right step in the right direction that the government, in their own duty and responsibility, they've started doing the silting of drain. But I tell you, the desilting of drain have started for like 3 weeks now, to the best of my knowledge. 3 weeks now it have started. And most of the places I have seen these silts that they've done, evacuation has not been
Become a
done.
problem.
It has not been done, not even been. I
Okay.
said they started 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, they started desilting. But every area I have seen them done desilting, I have not seen evacuation of
Of the
desilted
desilting
items
items.
from the drain.
Drains.
Now you just talk about the one at Interbar and about. I saw it. First of all, you desilting and leaving it there is already a deface to the environment.
Yes.
When it was in the drain, it wasn't a deface to the
Yes.
environment. Now you have desilt and you don't
Pack
evacuate.
everything out.
Now you are causing more deface to the environment. Like what we said last time when Reverend Maxwell came, he said the proper way of desilting, as you're desilting, there's a vehicle evacuating.
Immediately.
Immediately, a standby vehicle. If there are 3 portions to desilt, as you desilt 2, a vehicle has started evacuating the first one.
Immediately.
Before you finish desilting the 3rd one, the vehicle has almost finished the 2nd one. You understand?
Yes.
But one thing we do, we have good ideas, but implementations are always wrong. The way we go about our implementation are always wrong. And most times, one thing I've got to understand, this thing really happens when the job is done like what contractors they say, direct labor. Once it is direct labor, that is when you experience this kind of thing. But when you give it to a contractor, the modus operandus and the scope of job has been spelled out to the contractor. So the contractor knows that my employer has told me, as I am desilting, I am evacuating. Whether there is money, it is part of our business contract agreement. But when it comes to direct labor, where government always do use government facility to do it, they are the one that employ the people and pay the people, they supervise it. That is when you experience things like this. But when you give it to a contractor to handle, sir, his duty has been spelled out. You can even tell him to go beyond his own scope, and he will do it. You know why? Because he wants to keep a relationship with his employer.
Yes.
But what we are experiencing in our own client here is that most of these jobs, we do it direct labor. And when you do job direct labor, bureaucracy will come in. Oga never release money. Oga never sign paper. The file never reach this one. In the process of doing all this, it will not steal the job. Don't be surprised now that why they've not done this evacuation is that the first money that was approved was to do the silting. Now they are waiting for the next tranche of money to come for vehicle that will come and do the evacuation. Now the tranche is passing through Madam's table, secretary's table, passing through PS table, passing through accountant's table, passing through DOP table. Before you will not get to Oga table, Oga will not still tell you that he's traveling. He will take your file and go to Lagos or go to Warri until he comes back. Before you know, it is stealing. So that is why you see that when we do the silting, it looks as if we're just doing paparazzi with the work. With the work. But what is the end result of the work? What will they do? Yeah. Now you can see, like you asked, the question is that what do I think about this desilting? I tell you, it's a wrong step in the right direction. It's a wrong step in the right direction. Desilting is good, but desilting and leaving the debris there is an error. It's as good as not doing anything. Yeah. Because we're talking about environmental cleanliness and beautification, and you are bringing out what is hidden to the public to see. So are you doing more harm than good? Yes, it's a good measure, but in a very wrong pattern. And now, like you said, the proactive measure is what they have started. But the proactive measure, if they don't act the way they are doing it now, it will go back to square one. All the drains, I saw the one they are doing at Iguzo Road, they have desilted, no evacuation. And the major areas now that we need to concentrate now, you can see the roads they are doing within the Umogbe quarters, inside Asaba there. Yes. They are doing road constructions in most of those areas. And this is all laterite. If they don't quickly handle this matter, when the rain comes, I'm even talking about BYC now. Thanks to the vibrant, young, able to do local government chairman of Oshimole South, because we have always said it, the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, but they never give the youth opportunity. A youth has been given an opportunity in Delta State Oshimole, and you can see a result that he's bringing forth to Oshimole South. So with that he has done, a little reduction has been made at that BYC that used to flood the whole area of that BYC Umwegbe area. That measure he has done at government at those areas, it has reduced a little. But sir, the last rain that fell, that just drizzle, sir, there was still a little threat. Okay, there was still a little threat there. Though the water moved, the water moved quickly, but when it was falling, there was stagnancy. Yes. So what we're trying to say is that the plans are okay, but the execution of these exercises are very poor. So government needs to look into it very well. The issue of doing direct labor, the same money you want to pay for direct labor, give it to a contractor. The contractor will even do more than a direct labor. If it is a contractor that is doing that job, sir, you that is giving him the job, you would have spelled out his job. And as he's doing it, a truck is there. He will even employ more hands. But when it comes to direct labor, we use 2 days to do, because it's direct labor, we use 2 weeks to do it. So that is why you are seeing that thing like that, sir.
Okay. Madam Esther, looking at it critically, we have a division of labor in this environmental issue. You have Ministry of Environment, Waste Management, and others, local government and other agencies, who do you think is supposed to do all this decision?
Thank you very
Which
much.
department?
Like, like,
Who is supposed to?
like we keep on saying,
Yeah.
there are many agencies, offices that are created and they are duplicating more work. Now, as the state is concerned, to my best of knowledge, they said there are some rules,
Mm.
the drainages that the local government normally decides.
Okay.
And then there are some that the state, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Works,
Okay.
all of them used to do. But you see, personally, I wouldn't want to delve into their dichotomy, because me, I don't know.
Mm.
But what we want to say this morning is that flood is not a new experience.
Okay.
It's something that we are used to.
Mm.
What have we been doing over the years? This is the time to evaluate.
Okay.
The different stakeholders, the actors who normally do the decision previously and are doing it now. How have we been doing it? What results have we gotten so far? What areas have we not fed better that we need to improve upon? What are the pitfalls of last year's flood so that we know how to avoid it?
This year.
Such pitfall that we can sanfil, let's sanfil them, so that there can be a smooth sail through this year's flood. That should be what should be the government responsibility now. So if there is to be a proactive measure, those that manages camp, different IDP camps,
Yes.
those that do this, the city we're talking about, those that do evacuation from different places, let there be a stakeholder meeting. Let there be that. So what is our plan for this year? What are the roles of the various communities?
Yeah.
What should we do this year that we make sure that
Different from last year.
this year's flood experience is far
Better.
better off than last year? That should be what should be happening now. I hope you guys know that the local government for now does not have a management structure.
Yes. Yes.
We are in a gap that the state is now running with the head of personnel management of the various local government,
HPM.
HPMs, and resources
Limited.
is very limited. As a matter of fact, they just send salary to pay it from the information we got. No other thing.
No, that.
But that does not mean that they could not invite such HPM and heads of Department of Environment, where the health officers are, and head of works under the local government. The Ministry of Work, Ministry of Environment, Waste Management, Capital, they come together. And then the division of labor can be defined by them. Who does what and who brings what, who did it. All of them should be done.
Yeah.
And then it will now be obvious that if there's a failure in this angle, it is your end. If there's a failure in this angle, it is your end, because our work and my work, there's a vast difference.
Yeah.
If as you are in this DBS management service now as a broadcast station, if there are no division of labor, everybody just come and then whatever you see you do, it will not work.
Achieve anything.
You cannot do it. So same principle applies to this matter of flood and environmental sanitation. If everybody is just there and say this one is there, this one is there, this one is there, and then you are looking for who, and you did not say that this is what you are to do in particular, it will not work. When we were doing school inspection some few weeks back, I went to do some assessment, and one of the head teacher was saying that, he said the problem we have is that when this school is used for IDP, when they come, they can't come on that. They destroy even the toilet we are managing. They carry away our sumo, They do many, many things, leaving the pupils not to have access
when they resume.
to take over their learning place. No toilet, no water, whatever. Worsening. So these are the things. Before the IDPs come in, what do you put on ground? During their stay, what are we doing to ensure that they don't constitute any form of health hazard and environmental pollution? Then after their stay, what have you put in place to ensure that the pupils that will continue learning in such environment, they are not also what predisposed to environmental hazard? These are all part of the proactive measures that should be taken by the government. Erosion prone area, what has been done to make sure that those erosion sites, erosion gully, they are not widening up, rather but that they are restricted. So it is a time of thinking, pulling resources together, gathering stakeholders together, and planning to see that now that the flood has been predicted again, Delta State will not suffer any colossal damage before the rains are over. Thank you.
Yeah, so, Chairman, looking at what we are discussing now, I want to ask you, because you are a field officer, do you think there is enough sensitization of the people? Because, sometimes our people, the way they do things, the way they respond to things, you will think that that they don't even know whether there is rainy season or dry season at all. So, but, either government, state government, local government, or whatever, do you think we have enough sensitization to the people?
Thank you, sir. We cannot have enough sensitization to the people at any given time.
Okay.
Because this is what's supposed to be done oftentimes. It's something that's supposed to come frequently.
Okay.
It's not something that they should give a time to, or at a particular season, or after 1 year, or after 6 months. Because we are having new people coming into the city. People are coming from different states, from the village. People are coming in the name of urbanization. People are coming here. So here is developing every day. There are some persons that get information of what you did last year, last 2 years. There are some people that have not gotten information. So policy should be on ground to make sure that sensitization should be going on every day. Let the people be aware of what they're supposed to do. So people don't know what to do. That is why you are seeing the city everywhere. You see the place people will go carry waste and drop in the channel. They drop in the drain. We went to Trade FM the other day. When I was coming out from Trade FM, I was surprised. The whole area there were filled with waste. The village were filled, and the people are living. But people that have money, these are rich people that have money. They are living in the environment. They have landlord association. Their landlord association only work on the leper bill and so on and so forth. They don't even talk about issues of waste. Because if you go there now, somebody now, they are dissecting the waste now, bringing it out. For who to evacuate? If you go to the area now, the whole waste is on the ground. No arrangement. No, they are not even calling the government to help them. Somebody volunteered and brought out money and gave to people, and the people started sitting, bringing out the waste and put them on the tie road. And people living in the area, they are seeing it. Nobody talk. So it's something else. So what I'm trying to say is that this is continuity. The government should always be proactive in calling on people, awareness, sensitization, telling them what they need to do, and arresting offenders, people that are dropping this waste. On the channel, gutters, what are they doing to them? Because the rainy season is approaching. And in fact, I'm seeing danger ahead, because what is happening in the Imogbe now? Normally, every year by this time, you will see government bringing contractors to bring out the waste, visiting the village, preparing for the rainy season. Now, if nothing is done now, by month of June, sir, you will not be, you see, Okowa walk. Let me tell you, if within 3 months, nothing is done to those villages, water will overflow the whole Asaba. I'm just telling you.
It's true.
So government need now to go and visit all those areas. because those areas, the drainage are very shallow.
narrow.
They're very shallow. They are not deep to accommodate enough water. Unlike Onisha, they are not deep enough. So the city is supposed to be frequent, supposed to be regular. You understand? So that when rain falls, the water will find its way. The water will get to where it's supposed to go to. So please, we are begging government now, especially now, because we have only this month and next month, that those areas like Umago, Umweko, Umaji, Umwelaje, all those areas, please, government should do something about it to help the people there, because the rain this year is going to be very heavy. And if government does not do anything about it, people in that environment will suffer. I rest my case.
Yeah, so are they looking at what we are discussing?
Yeah.
This is a critical time. And, need to be proactive in whatever I still, find places where people don't waste in this community. Myself today, I was coming, this hospital opposite us here, what's it called? St. Luke's. Just beside it, some people have just, changed that place now to dump site. And when you come, you see, fine bags, have been dumped there. It's not a common man that dumped that waste. You understand? They dump, just as you are going, you'll be seeing everything just by the fence there. You understand? And some of them are being dumped inside the drainage. How do you see this kind of attitude?
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Once again, we've always talked a lot on this program, You and the Environment. And I think we really emphasize on things that makes up our environment and the things that can destroy our environment. Now, we're talking about flood, and one of the challenges that still makes us experience flood is indiscriminate dumping of waste in illegal places, waterways, drain. We should just directly ask and incited now. Now, sir, it will interest you to know that these things you are seeing happening is as a result of people don't want to comply to the PSP. That's one. Two, is also as a result of lack of enforcement.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they say when there is a will, there is a way. If there is a will for proper enforcement, then there will be a way for adequate cleanup and stop illegal disposing of waste. Now, you just made mention of somewhere now, and you said the kind of waste you saw there is not a poor man's waste.
Not at all.
Thank you. That means you can see that even the elites are the one even committing the crime more than the average people. Because in a Nigeria context, if I may digress, the elite commits crime and they are pardoned. But when the average people commit crime, they are sanctioned, they are jailed. Thank you very much. The stick falls on them more harder than the elite that commits even more higher crime than them. Now, what we need to do to stop this is adequate enforcement. We need to be proactive in enforcing environmental sanitation law. We need to be proactive. It's not just paper, wearing reflective jacket, moving around and catching people that are using umbrella, looking for daily bread, staying on the road. There is no work anywhere. People are hungry. Our president has said everybody should go and think of what to do to earn a living. Government cannot employ everybody. Now, since government cannot employ me, a graduate, I choose to go take a POS to work. The sanitation environmental task force or whatever, they will come and embarrass me, apprehend me, and still ask me to pay money for what the government is not giving me. Instead of us to be concentrating on these people who are trying to earn a living legitimately, even though they are not on the right spot doing it, but it is a legitimate business on the wrong spot. Instead of apprehending those people, let's apprehend the people that are more damaging the area. and they are not adding value to the area. They are even depreciating the area and degrading the area, which are the people that throws waste indiscriminately. Because those people who put umbrella somewhere, one way or the other, they paid for tickets. And these are IGROs, tax and everything to the government. Even if it's 20 naira ticket they are paying, there's a percentage that goes to the government coffers. Those people are adding value to the economy and to the government to take care of the environment, if that is where the money is coming from. But these other people, they are even sabotaging the effort of the government. So government needs to come out with a proactive enforcement measure. Operation Show Your Receipt. No matter how, even if your house is a duplex with police, Oga Kokoko, who did there? Now we. Oga, where is your receipt? No, I have a PSP that comes to carry, like one will tell me it's my PA that used to pay, it's my gatesman that used to pay. They don't even know anything that is happening, these big men. They don't know what is happening. All they wake up with this morning, Abu on generator, Abu open the gate, Abu pump water, Abu this one. They don't know what is happening around them. All they know about is how to go to the office and sign documents to collect pounds and dollars that is left for us. Now we need to be proactive. Operation Show Your Receipt. Go from house to house. They see, government will say there is no employment, there is no employment. And we have avenues to create employment that will even sustain the employers.
Okay.
It will sustain them. We're saying no job, no job, no job, no job, no job. You can create an avenue. There are so many avenues that we create IGRA, and from that same place they can pay their salary. Imagine you employ people, they go from house to house. Everybody you cash, from the fine, you are paid. Maybe like a commission. If I come to DPS now and I find DPS faulty and every other thing, and the fine for DPS is 100,000, and they tell me that my percentage is 10% from DPS 10,000. Is 10%. If I cash DPS, I will be looking at cashing St. Luke Hospital. I will be looking at cashing at that bit, so that at the end of the day, maybe in one day I can make 10% of 50,000 naira.
Yes.
Do you understand, sir? I can make 10% of creating wealth, creating job for people. When I collect 10% from 5 defaulters, I have made my own money for the day, and government has also made its own. In that process, the consciousness will start come. People will now be careful. Let every one of us be a police to the next person. Employ people. You will generate. But when you see these things, people don't want to pay. People don't want to comply to government policy. That's why you see that everybody is waiting. The rains have not started. The last 2 Saturdays rain that fell, I experienced what happened in DBS here now.
Yes.
I experienced it. Not that they told me. I experienced it.
Okay.
I could not drive by now. Even when I was having a Jeep, my Jeep, water almost got to my engine. I have the people, they say you will get Jeep, they reverse back. They say me when I get Jeep, why I they reverse back? I say me when I get Jeep, if it's spoiled, not be money I go take the piano.
Okay.
Water no Jeep, you know anything. I had to reverse back on this DBS road there.
Yeah.
You could see the flood. It was with all the storm drain that was created, water
Yes,
still
it was
overflowing.
Is it, the drains are not flowing.
They are not flowing because it is silted at Okmanam Road here.
Yes.
It is silted with this Okmanam Road there. It is
Yes.
silted there with debris and sand. Debris and sand. And these people that are sweeping the road, they sweep their sand into the drain too. People sweeping the road. They sweep it into the drain. They sweep it into the drain. And one thing about sand, sand piles up. Piles up. Before you know, it forms a mountain.
Yes, and it doesn't flow.
It doesn't flow. It stands as a blockage. So government needs to be proactive. Like we said, proactive measure for flood control. In everything, government needs to be proactive. They need to sit up. Because this flood, I've gone to understand one thing with my study of the environment, sir and madam. I've gone to discover that the delay of rainfall always brings a disaster. Because when the rain don't fall early, if it starts falling late, he comes with force. He falls in continually, and before you know, flood will be everywhere. But when the rain comes early, if it starts early, it does not come with that pressure of falling.
Yes.
And since we know that, let's be proactive in preparing for it. Let me tell you, in the village now, there is scarcity of water for those areas that depend on rainfall. There's scarcity of water.
Yes.
Now they have all prepared their well.
Seriously.
They've prepared their well
And they
now.
still have,
Thank you.
water inside.
Thank you. They have prepared their well because they know that when this flood will come now, when this rain will start falling, they will have an overflow water. So they haven't prepared the well. I went to Isela Sabade. There's a man he's dressing his well to make it clean, so that when the flood will come here, when the rains will come, the water will clean and it will not sink away. So like I said, government needs to be proactive in terms of proper sensitization and enforcement on waste management. Yes, like what Madam said, some of our PSP, they have their nuisancey character and attitude. But let me tell you, sir, if you go deep and check these things well, circumstances are also surrounding it. And what are the circumstances? Economical factor. There's inflation. Diesel is going up. Spare parts is going up. But your income, sir, as a civil servant, is not going up. So this frustration is on everybody, even the service provider. Now, go buy a sachet milk now, because I want to let Madam know that sometimes when you see some PSP failing, it's as a result of economical factor.
Over the years. Over the years.
It is not over the years.
They cannot say that, but it has been normal like that.
No, there are some that are doing well.
We are talking about
We are
some.
talking
We are
about
not
some, we're talking about the whole.
You understand? So
talking
even
about
those
all.
some self, not that they don't want to improve. Not that they don't want to improve.
You know what
Factors
we
are
are
also
saying?
surrounding it too. So
You
what I'm
know
trying
them,
to
you know some of them.
we
You are
know
just
that
trying
is what
to
we're saying.
defend.
No, we're not
Very few,
defending.
very
There are few, but we're also trying to make you understand that there is nobody that will not want to do the right thing. Let me tell you the truth. Anybody, especially a businessman will want to do the right thing so that his client can tell him well done and to increase his.
Some of them are careless.
I understand what you are
Yes.
saying. I understand what you're saying.
Some of them are
But
careless.
irrespective of that, we also call them, look at factors that are also resulting to this. So what we just need to do, even we do our own task force in the PSP, we have our task force. Like what she has just complained, now, if she just mentioned a particular area to us now, what we do, we call the PSP to order. We will call the PSP to order, we will tell him that, see, your inefficiency is causing the people to go for alternative measure, and the alternative measure is causing a big problem to the environment. So you need to sit up, you need to be proactive. Sometimes we send our vehicles there, even the waste management board sometimes do palliative to go there and see how they can reduce, until this same PSP we now jack up again and start doing the needful. So that's it, sir.
Yeah. So, Madam, looking at what we are saying now, what would be your recommendation in terms of these proactive measures in flood control? What would be your recommendation to the people and to the government?
I want to recommend, first and foremost, that Ogbilo Road to Ogbogonogo,
Okay, yes, that drainage they are
that
doing now.
drainage they are doing,
It's a dangerous place now.
say death trap.
Death trap, yes.
They-
There is Okada used to Keke parks.
that
Yes,
junction,
when
you
you are
know
going
that the
to,
thing is just widening up like that.
Yes.
Ogbilo
And
now.
if
That
the
And
rain-
you know
the
that,
rains-
if
Ogbilo
you know
used to
that
have
before
flood.
now,
Yes.
Ogbilo
used
have to have
flood.
pre-flood.
Flood.
Yes.
That when the rains are falling, that normally will come, pass through the drainage on
Yes.
that and there. Now by opening it up,
It will eat. It
should
will be eating
that
the road.
place continue like
It
that
will just
for
be
this
eating the
rainy
road.
season?
Yes. It's not,
Just
It will eat the road, many buildings will be affected.
Yes.
yes,
God forbid anybody falls in there.
I tell you.
So my first recommendation is to plead
And that's
With the-
where people are trading. Oh,
So, like I was saying, every one of us, every individual, should make sure that as the floods are coming, we are prepared. Those living in a flood-prone area, don't wait until the rain comes. Start arranging your things. Those that normally lift up their furnitures and their beddings, start making such preparation so that once the rains are coming, you know how to quickly take caution and protect yourself and your family. Those that are contractors, those that are deceived, you have already stated it. It is work done in futility when you deceive without cutting away the resultant debris.
Yeah.
So because of that, as a matter of urgency, let there be immediate cutting away of those debris that are coming, and let there be surveillance. The task force that have just been inaugurated, part of what they should do, work with the police team. Let there be the patrol team that do patrol during the rains, do patrol during the night. If one man with the youth vigilante normally apprehend refuse people in the night, government can engage them so that people will not be, the government cannot be deceiving now, and when opportunity comes for those miscreants, they will go back and put debris there again. Let the government call a stakeholder forum meeting and see how every stakeholder will come, share responsibility, what the local government should do, what the different agencies and ministries and boards should do, what the workers inside of this group are expected to be done, so that when there is a lacuna in any place, you know who to hold, and it is not a blame game. This will say that you are supposed to do, this will say that you are supposed to do it. Thank you very much.
We don't have much time again. I think we'll call it a day from here. And I want to thank Comrade Oswere for being here with us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for being our participant. Oswere, Osawaru Adeni. I've forgotten the other name.
No, please put that name.
So you're welcome. Thank you so
very
much.
Mr. Agnew. Thank you very
And
much.
Madam Esther Edapenene.
Thank
You're
you
welcome.
very much.
Thank you so much.
Always my pleasure.
I remain your host, Gilbert Ole. We have another version of this topic,
Yes.
you and your environment. And I know quite well that next week, a very,
Interesting.
in fact, the father of the environment, by God's grace, will be here next week. Thank you so much, and God bless.